You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, we're breaking down She-Hulk episode 6.
What is that?
It's the sound of depression.
Oh, dude, honestly, I've been feeling that way for about, 6 weeks now?
Well, not 6 weeks because we enjoyed episode 1.
5 weeks.
5 weeks.
To
Well,
be exact.
you liked episode 2.
I did.
You did. And I think you may have liked... Yeah, I think you liked episode 3 too.
Listen, I mean, y'all have the receipts. The episodes are out. But I take back everything I said.
Yeah. And I'll say it just in a little bit of a rant here is, I went today, to get some lunch.
Yeah.
And I was in a mood for lunch because it was lunchtime.
Where'd you go?
And I went to Cookout.
Okay.
And I was like, I like Cookouts. It's a good place, cheap food, get a lot of food out of your money.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Cheap
I was like,
college
you know what?
students.
I'm gonna get some food.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, I waited there at Cookout for 45 minutes. 45 minutes
45
at
minutes?
Cookout. I was livid. And it takes a lot for me to get livid, but I was livid. And quite honestly, I would have rather waited 45 minutes at Cookout than watch episode 6 of She-Hulk. If I'm
You're just like standing in the building. It's 45
standing in the
minutes.
building. Well, okay. Part of that was in the drive-thru. Okay, 2 minutes in the drive-thru. Park, walk in. 45 minutes. I would have rather done that than watch She-Hulk episode 6. If I'm being completely honest.
Dude, I mean, that's truly traumatizing. I know you told me you're never going back to
I'm
Cookout
never going
again.
back to the ETSU Johnson City. Calling it out right here on the podcast. Viral for everybody to listen to. Never going back to the ETSU
The
Johnson City Cookout
catching heat.
ever again.
Oh,
Ever.
the game canceled apparently.
Jonesboro Cookout. I'm coming to you.
Yeah, Jonesboro.
But
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that. Shout out there where we live. I probably shouldn't have said that. But anyway, I would have rather done that than watched episode 6 of She-Hulk because, oh my goodness, literally the worst, absolute worst episode of any show I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, maybe that's a bit of a drag.
Okay.
Maybe that's too much. Okay, I've seen a lot of bad episodes. Okay,
Yeah,
CW.
for sure.
But this was by far the worst MCU content I've ever received.
Yeah.
By far the worst I've ever experienced. And I just had such a poor time that I was like shocked that this is Marvel
made, yeah.
I was baffled.
I mean, did you really think it was that much worse than episode 5? Because I really felt... I thought it was worse too, but I thought there was at least some similarities.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
But
But the thing about episode 5 is it had Daredevil's helmet, and that already brings it up a couple of notches. So I think, hate me if you want to for just wanting Daredevil, but at this point, can you blame me?
I know, and then they tease and they're like, by the way, random wedding episode that has truly, dude, there was... This episode contributed nothing to the plot.
Nothing.
At the very end, what do we see? A 4-second clip of doctors. Obviously, that improves the plot more. This, and she even addresses it in the beginning of the episode. Like this,
she's like, welcome to your mid-season time,
mid-season wedding
episode. Where because of course weddings always come up in the middle of nowhere anyway.
Yeah. And first of all, that's a terrible explanation.
Terrible explanation.
Stop giving me the fourth wall breaks if what you say is stupid.
Exactly. I mean, think about this for a second. Let's say in the realm of Marvel anyway, you give us a, you show us a movie or something, and then you conclude, let's say Iron Man 1, right? You conclude Iron Man 1 and you show that like War Machine gets his armor. Iron Man.
You're like hype comic character.
War Machine gets his armor.
Dope.
He's like, okay, War Machine's coming to the MCU. We're getting Iron Man and War Machine together, and then he's not even in Iron Man 2. That's what this is. Like, and then they don't even mention him.
And then you wait another episode, and he won't be in the third movie.
It's like, what's War Machine? I mean, to even a bigger extent, it's like in the real life, it's like, all right, next week we're passing a bill. It's going to come. Supreme Court's going to sign it. It's going to be amazing. And then it never comes.
Well, I mean, it's classic politicians. This hasn't been classic Marvel.
No.
This is phase 4 Marvel,
Exactly. It's depressing.
Yeah,
It's quite honestly, I
it's
was
hard.
so mad watching this episode that there was just literally nothing good about it. The only thing that was semi-interesting was the
Yeah.
ending with the blood. And I'm actually still a little bit thinking, and it should be the leader. And I'm still kind of thinking that it possibly could still lead the leader.
Yeah.
But everything is still pointing to the one dude that they introduced earlier in the show who wants to get superpowers based off She-Hulk. Remember that dude like she went on a date with or something like that, or mom mentioned or whatever?
The one with the glasses.
The one with the glasses that was super like
the one
condescending.
nerd. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be him, and I'm gonna be mad because it's gonna be him, and nobody
That
wants to be him.
doesn't make sense. And obviously, like, dude, Titania is a freaking joke, dude. She's a joke, and I could not see her as a main villain. But they're gonna take someone who's even more of a joke.
Even
you know?
more.
Like, I don't know, dude. Just with this whole episode introduced and what was about, just was not interesting at all. Literally, all the new characters introduced. Lulu, the bridesmaids. I mean, what's his name?
Mr.
Josh
Immortal.
was cool. Josh was cool. He was like the first actual like decent dude we've seen in the show. Mr. Immortal.
They're gonna ruin him, and I have a theory on that.
While funny, was just, dude, it was unnecessary.
Yep.
If you gave me the entire episode and it was just a clip at the end, I could have vibed with it.
Like,
better yet, put that clip with the last episode.
Like, honestly, like I'm really curious. Like when the She-Hulk writers were coming together, like in the room, and they're like, "What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Let's write this out." Ooh, episode 6. We should make all the MCU fans want to die after watching it.
Yeah,
That sounds amazing. Let's do that.
I don't want to die either. But when you think about it, the whole point of the episode was a fight between Titania and She-Hulk.
And it was
at
not a
wedding.
good fight.
And have we already seen a fight? Yes. Both in the courtroom and in episode, was it 1, right?
And I want to know why you go inside for a fight when you were outside.
I know, that's
Why
just
would you
endanger
ever
these
go
people.
inside for a fight. Like, I get she was drunk, but she's not drunk as She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And why is she always getting drunk for?
Yeah.
I mean, like, every episode, she's like, alcohol. I mean, what?
Yeah. I don't know how she still has a job.
And of course, Titania
Yeah.
was back, and I cannot stand Titania.
She's terrible,
And then they introduced
honestly.
almost an even worse level character. Last week, I said Titania's the worst character in the MCU. Now Lulu is right there with her.
Yeah, Lulu's terrible.
And
Bring back Madison.
bring back,
Woo!
and I can't believe I'm saying to bring back the
Yeah.
girl who was drunk in the like episode.
Wongers.
Wongers.
Madison.
Soprano, like bring back Madison. Like she was the best character they've introduced in the
her
entire
own
show.
I say. Spin-off.
I say
Why
give her
not?
a movie, man. Give her a trilogy.
Good trilogy.
I just want to see her and Wong like just chill. Like that's what I want to see. But I was just so disappointed. The Mr. Immortal plot with Nikki and Mallory, the lawyer girl,
Yeah.
was horrible side
It was
plot.
horrible. Listen, I will say, to his credit, I thought it was funny. I thought it was a little bit amusing, but it was completely unnecessary.
Completely.
I think the whole point of these side plots should be introducing at least, B-level heroes.
Exactly. Well,
I never heard of Mr. Immortal in my life.
is a character, and I feel like
In my
She-Hulk
life.
benefits from doing D-level characters, and
Yeah.
Mr. Immortal is a member of another superhero team that is super minor, and I don't think he'll ever return again anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just a horrible side plot, not entertaining.
I'm gonna hit you with the fact. In order to carry these side plots, minus the lead in Jen Walters, they need a cameo from someone big, a comic character, a big actor that we know. They need something to keep people's attention.
Exactly.
What they've been pulling in has not been cutting it for the side
And then
plots.
they've been-
what's happened in the recent side plots?
Right.
This done with Mr. Mortal, a couple episodes back, the Asgardian case.
Yeah.
What was the side plot in episode
Horrible.
5 again? It was a clothing one.
The clothing,
Right, which,
and then
eventually left to Daredevil,
episode
but still.
4 was the Magic Dude.
Yeah.
Who
And
nobody
the Magic
knows,
Dudes,
who
Donnie,
they teased.
Johnny, whatever.
Johnny Blaze. It's
Yeah.
Donnie Blaze.
Donnie
Instead, Johnny
Blaze.
Blaze, not
But
Ghost
like-
Rider.
But really, Marvel has to be seeing these viewership numbers and knowing that it's not doing a good job. Obviously, they can change it now, but why do they think it's a good idea to isolate, to make 2 separate plots, one with the main character, one with terrible side characters, and then not give anything to support the side
And
characters?
I want to know, I guarantee
You know?
you, like, the viewership of She-Hulk is not as bad as we say it is, just because of the fact that, they're going to be like, oh, She-Hulk. They get, it's doing pretty
and
good.
they do a lot of marketing for it too.
Literally every single, I don't want to say every single viewer because there's a minority of people that like this show and be like, oh, She-Hulk, look at but
I love them.
there's 80%, maybe higher, of the population watching the show is just there for Daredevil.
Yeah, no,
Like,
truly.
literally.
They're gonna see Daredevil and dipped out. We've seen
exactly. We've seen him. He done wasn't good
and
anyway.
It was cool. Obviously, seeing Bruce, seeing Smart Hulk, seeing freaking Iron Man references, and
then they tease us by calling him, and he doesn't even answer.
Yeah, hey Bruce,
and she drunk again, and it was so painful to watch.
Sense.
And they did have a small
on a
Easter
Thursday evening,
and they did have a small Easter egg of the website. I forgot what it was called. If I can remember,
it was
something of the website where everybody was dissing She-Hulk. What was it called again?
Something
Ossia something.
Something.
Anyway, that is a title of group in the comics led by the leader, teasing further the leader.
Really?
And then
just setting him up for Captain America movie.
Possibly, but of course he's going to lead into that, and hopefully that'll lead into a Hulk movie. But I'm just not feeling this show anymore, and it takes a lot for me to not feel a show of the MCU because I absolutely adore Marvel in every sense, and I still love Marvel. I just can't stand the show She-Hulk.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's depressing.
I mean, y'all heard it here. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. One of my buddies, Bryce, he's been watching it. He texted me the other day. He's like, dude, me and my roommate sat down and watched the first 3 episodes, turned it off. He's not even like a huge Marvel fan. He was, the marketing, there's a lot of attention around it. So, hey, let's see if it's really that good, dude. If you can't keep people's interest for 3 episodes, being like 20, 25 minutes, you're doing something wrong. That's like barely more than an hour, dude.
Definitely.
Like these episodes just have nothing pulling for them.
I would rather watch like season 8 of Riverdale than this. I mean, at least it's horribly.
You'd rather watch
good.
the entire CW catalog.
I would much rather. Well, I mean, like the later seasons. Because the early seasons phenomenal.
We're great.
Shout out, but I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
And
I want to hear your theory on Josh.
Okay, right. I forgot about that. I was so mad.
I want to hear that.
Okay, so Josh, I think they're going to ruin him just because of the fact, he's a nice character, getting close to She-Hulk. I think he's going to end up being part of the wrecking crew, the guy with the mask. I just do. I think the way that he was getting close to her, the way that he was talking to her.
He was very aggressive. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he seemed very pointed.
And knowing this show's history with how they treat male characters, it just seemed
By the way, here's a great guy. Actually, Psych. He's a jerk.
He's part of the wrecking crew trying to get She-Hulk's blood. Whoopsie. Threw that in there. But honestly, usually at the end of these episodes, I'm super optimistic. I hope it gets better. But at this point, I just hope it ends and I never want to see it again.
It's no longer.
It's not getting better. My prediction a couple
you
episodes.
hope the episodes get shorter because you still have to watch them.
Exactly. It's becoming short.
Would you guys be upset if we did a breakdown of the episodes, but we didn't watch them? Let us know.
Upset?
DM us on
DM us what you think. If you don't like this podcast, listen to other ones because I promise they're better. But it's just a rant and
Well, I mean,
bad show.
And I wish we could sit here for 20 minutes and truly discuss in detail and theorize about what happened. But the truth is, she went to a wedding for her friend in high school. A fight broke out. She got drunk, and then she met a guy.
And then the side plot was awful.
Yeah, and then the side plot was, by the way, I mean, it was.
And then
funny,
you see scientists put on a really big needle.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
I was like, ooh, what's this leading into?
I've seen a needle.
Interesting.
Before.
And hopefully it benefits off that. But I'm just so sad at this point and it takes a lot because I don't think I've ever been this mad at a show on this podcast or movie or anything. The worst.
More than Cookout. Not more than Cookout.
Not more than Cookout.
Not more than Cookout. Cookouts catching a lot
what
of
a day.
Man.
What a day. But, what can I say except if you're watching She-Hulk still, you shouldn't.
Yeah,
but you should listen to this podcast.
Your loyalty level right now on 100 because either, you watching it because you love it, which I have to say, are you okay? Or
you okay?
2, you're just watching it because you feel obligated and you're a fan. So
and if you don't want to watch She-Hulk anymore, you could still listen to this podcast and just hear us rant about it.
Yeah, here you can feel justified in your anger without having to endure the feelings of rage.
That's it. That's it. And we still have 3 more episodes to get through.
Is it only 3?
7, 8, 9.
Dude, that's actually kind of encouraging.
3 episodes
we're
left.
2/3 done now, right?
We are.
Okay.
So thankfully.
Well, we just spent the entire time duking on it.
We did. But hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do if you know what I'm saying.
Holy. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Heroes in the Moment, is available on all podcast platforms. So check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and we'd really appreciate Thank y'all for the support. It means a lot. We just hit 7,000 downloads, so
Heck
we're
yeah.
pushing for 10 by the end of the year. So thank y'all who've been listening faithfully. We love you, and we appreciate you. If you want to stay up to date with our posts, some new announcements, maybe some episodes coming out earlier or later, check our socials. Here's in the Moment on Instagram, and then Here's in the Moment with the extra T on TikTok. As far as our upcoming announcement goes, we are moving. Our next episode, obviously, you listened to this on Tuesday when it came out. We're moving our latest news 11 to Thursday. So go ahead, check it out, 5 a.m. And be sure to check out our last podcast on Andor, which was, dude, it was hype, man. I can't even lie. I love that show. So check that out. That came out on Saturday. So look out this Thursday, 5 a.m. Latest superhero news, part 11.
And we just want to thank y'all for listening to our rant. And as always, we love you 3000.